my daughter's eyes, everyone is equal.
Nikki, the first time we were on the seminar stage was when you were in the 5th grade. And I was debuting as an independent national sales director. Gosh, it just seems like yesterday, and that was 17 years ago. What a very special moment this is for both of us. You literally did grow up in Mary Kay. I found out I was pregnant with you when I was a DIQ. I was 6 months pregnant when I debuted as a Mary Kay sales director, and then I drove you home from the hospital in our very first pink Cadillac. I will say I never expected you to pursue a career with Mary Kay. You were always a big thinker, and you were going to be the next Oprah.
Yes, I was. I went to college for broadcasting and never really questioned whether or not broadcasting was for me. I was candy dandy on our local radio station. I woke up my college campus every morning, and I even had my own sports talk with Nikki on our local TV station. I loved it. It really wasn't until I got accepted to work for NBC Sports as an intern that I really realized that broadcasting wasn't quite as glamorous as I had thought. One night, one of the producers sat me down. He looked me in the eye, and he said, "Nikki, if you really want to make it big in this business, you're going to be calling your kids at night and wishing them good night, because I call my 3 boys every night." Those words never left me. I wasn't even thinking about starting a family yet, but I knew that when I had a family, I not only wanted to be there to tuck them into bed, but I wanted to be there for everything, like Mom was there for me. So after that, I was just working a bunch of part-time jobs trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Mom, being the smart woman that she was, she called me and invited me to seminar.
I really believe that that was a time in your life that you really needed to come to seminar to catch the Mary Kay dream. And so I called and asked her to come, and she said she couldn't get off of one of her jobs, wouldn't let her off work. So I was so disappointed. I mentioned it to my husband, Scott, and he called Nikki that night, and he said, "Nikki, quit that job. You're coming with us to seminar."
And I did. I listened to my dad. I quit my job. I came to seminar, and that's where the dreams were planted in my heart. And I can honestly say I've never, ever looked back. So yay for all of you for being here.
The one thing I have always noticed about Nikki is her 100% belief in this company and in herself.
Yeah, I think sometimes new consultants might come into Mary Kay and question, is this business really for me? Can I really be successful? Can I really make money with this Mary Kay thing? I never had those questions because I watched Mom work this Mary Kay business become super successful, and I knew that if Mom could do it, I could do it too.
Mary Kay always said, what's caught is so much more important than what's taught. So what do you think you caught from growing up in Mary Kay your entire life?
So many things, but the first that comes to mind is the Mary Kay positive attitude. Mom used to come into my room in the mornings. She'd fling on my light, go over to the curtains, open up the curtains, and every morning she'd say, "Nick, time to get up. It's a beautiful day." It didn't matter if it was a winter storm warning in South Dakota. She said that every day. But you know what? In college, I was at a track meet, and I caught myself flinging open the curtains and saying to my roommates, "Girls, time to get up. We're going to win our races today." And at that moment, I knew that I had caught Mom's Mary Kay positive attitude. The second thing that comes to mind is definitely communication skills. Even though Mom didn't realize it, I would sit in her office and I would listen to how she communicated with her customers, with her unit, and then as a national with her directors. Mom had a really special way of just always making everybody feel important. You were always such a good listener, and you treated everybody with the golden rule. So thank you. I learned so much from that. And the third thing that comes to mind would definitely be work ethic. Mom had a really strong work ethic, and I remember Sundays were always our family days, and as soon as the clock struck 8 o'clock, Mom would go into her office to work her Mary Kay business. It didn't matter what we were doing. But you know what, you guys? I learned more from Mom going in and working her Mary Kay business than had she stayed out and played with us for the extra few hours. It taught me work ethic. I watched Mom work when she felt like it, but I learned the most by watching Mom work when she didn't feel like it. And it was my work ethic that helped me become the first ever woman national champion in track and field at my college university. That was something that God put in my heart as a freshman in college, and I knew that I probably wasn't the most talented runner, but I knew that I had worked the hardest and run the most miles. And I remember standing at that starting line thinking, I am going to win today. And throughout that race, I remember just telling myself those positive affirmations, and I had visualized myself crossing the finish line ever as the first national champion over and over and over again. And Mom taught me those skills through her Mary Kay business. And the last that comes to mind is confidence. I have never really struggled much with confidence growing up. Mom always told me that I could do or be anything I wanted as long as I was willing to work. I was never afraid to try new things or to go out of my comfort zone.
And didn't you just do something for your last birthday that was a little bit scary?
I went skydiving! It was so exhilarating and so much fun.
Yeah, I was so glad when she called me and was on the ground. Well, you and your sister Dusty have always been my why for doing my business.
And now that I'm a mom, my why is to give my family what you were able to give to me.
Thank you. That's so sweet to hear. What are some of your favorite memories growing up in Mary Kay, Nikki?
I have so many. All of our fabulous vacations to Hawaii, Colorado, Florida. And I'll never forget Dad and I getting to go to the Sydney, Australia Olympics. Not only did we get to go, but we got like the best seats in the house. It was awesome. To all of our favorite events, track and the marathon gymnastics. And you know, that whole trip, you guys, was all paid for by Mom working her Mary Kay business. Those memories that I have with Dad, I will never, ever forget, and I know he won't either. I remember going to seminar every single year with Mom. I remember meeting Mary Kay Ash for the very first time. Feel so blessed to have been able to meet her and see her face to face, eye to eye. And then Mom was always there for me, especially when I came home for lunch. I have a couple of stories I want to tell you. There was one particular time when my boyfriend Drew broke up with me. Why would you do that, right? But he broke up with me. And I was really bummed. So I came home for lunch, and Mom, of course, met me at the door all perky and happy. And I said, Mom, you'll never guess what? Drew broke up with me. And she just had the perfect words and told me how wonderful and beautiful I was, and that she gave me the whole more fish in the sea talk. Have you ever got that? She gave me that. But you know what? She built my confidence back up, and I went back to school that day just a different person. You know, my head was just a little bit taller, and I just had that confidence right back in me again. And so good thing you were there for me that day, Mom, and you were home. Another particular time, I happened to bring all my girlfriends over this day. Well, Mom had a director meeting going on in our dining room. And so we come in, and we're eating, and all of a sudden, Mom's directors start bursting out into song. Okay, I'm not a good singer, but I'm going to go with this. It was the song, I Believe I Can Fly, and they were singing, I believe I can sell. I believe I can recruit them all. I think about it every night and day. I drive my pink caddy far away. I am serious. I will never, ever forget the look on my friend's face, you guys. Their mouths dropped. My friend Kay looked over at me. She goes, Nick, is this seriously what your mom gets paid to do? I said, yeah, isn't this crazy? But you know what? They can all still burst into song today, that same song. So it left a lasting impression on me and them, and it's a memory I will never forget.
I have always run my business the way Mary Kay asked us to, keeping God first, our family second, and our career third. However, sometimes we as women, we feel guilty when we're working our business. And I'll never forget the time Scott and I were on a top director trip and your grandma and grandpa were watching you. And there was a big plane crash in Sioux City, Iowa. Many people were killed. And you sat and you watched that whole thing on TV. And a little while after that, I had to go on a business trip, a Mary Kay trip, and I remember tucking you in at night, and you were sobbing. And you were pleading me not to go on the trip because you were so afraid. Well, I had women counting on me, so I got on that airplane, and I'll never forget getting on that airplane, just tears in my eyes, thinking I was the worst person in the whole wide world. I just felt so guilty. Do you remember that?
I don't. I just remember being so excited when you came home from your trips because you always brought the coolest gifts home from these other countries. And I also remember being excited because my dad never cooked, so when Mom left, we'd get to go out to eat, and I'd be so excited.
Well, Mary Kay always said that your actions speak so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. Being a big thinker and becoming successful in Mary Kay will do more for your children and your family than anything you could ever tell them. My children saw me set goals and miss them and cry, and they saw me set goals and reach them and celebrate.
There's a particular time, and us Mary Kay ladies, we all know that June is the end of the seminar year, and it happened to be June, and Mom had planned a trip to New York. Well, she sat us down and she told us that if she'd reached her goal, that she would come with us to New York. But if she hadn't reached her goal, she was going to stay home and work until that goal was completed. Well, the trip came, and Mom had not reached her goal yet. So she did. She stayed home. She worked her Mary Kay business. We went to New York, had a ball, came back. Mom was the first one to meet us at the door with the biggest smile. And I knew right then and there that she had reached her seminar goal. You know what, you guys? That moment taught me that sometimes it takes sacrifice to reach your goals. But in the very end, it is so worth it.
Absolutely. I have had the joy of being a part of this incredible company for 35 years, and it's been amazing, but I'm even more excited about your future in this company.
Me too. Oh my gosh. So when I started this business, I was in my early 20s, and what I loved about the marketing plan was that you could move up as quickly as you wanted, and that you truly could have it all if you were just willing to work this awesome marketing plan. So our marketing plan is targeted great for the younger generation, as well as, oh my gosh, this hot suit, who loves their hot orchid suits? Yes, and then we cannot forget about that Mustang that came across. I mean, they are so good. And then, of course, the products. Everything is so on trend, you guys, so definitely be talking to the younger generation. This is perfect for them.
My two proudest moments were debuting on this seminar stage as an independent national sales director, and then 6 years ago being in Denver and giving you your oath at the Denver Career Conference. But my ultimate moment will be when we're on this seminar stage together and you're becoming an independent national sales director, and you will be carrying on Mary Kay's legacy and Mary Kay's dream.
Isn't it exciting to know that when you ladies work your Mary Kay business, it's not only affecting your own life, but it's affecting your family life in more ways than you ever will realize.
I shudder to think what our lives would be like had I not come into Mary Kay and set big goals. The cars we would be driving right now wouldn't be free, and they probably wouldn't have OnStar, and we certainly need that, both being blonde. You and your sister would have learned your values from whoever was watching you while I worked 12-hour shifts as a nurse. The track meets I probably would have missed. The college educations that you both may not have had. Thank you, Mary Kay, for what you've given my family for the last 35 years.
And thank you, Mom, for passing this on to me.
Dream big dreams.
Not just for you, but do it for your family.
I once heard you can't stuff a great life into a small dream. So, dream big!